Hey guys, TrainerDC here, coming at you with another video. I was at a mall recently and stopped in a Best Buy there and saw a giant Pokemon poster up for the 30th anniversary saying which one is your favorite. You know the marketing I'm talking about, it's up on screen now. And when I saw that poster in the store, I thought to myself, you know what? Pokemon's 30th anniversary is really bad right now. Like, it is the most forgettable anniversary we've had in recent memory for Pokemon. If you just look to what's happening this year with Pokemon, there's nothing going on. Like, yeah, we got the announcement on Pokemon Day for Pokemon Winds and Waves. Yeah, we got the release of Pokemon Champions a few months ago, and we're getting a TCG set to celebrate the 30-year history of Pokemon, but that's really it. This is the most lackluster and forgettable anniversary that Pokemon has ever had before. If we look back to recent memory with their anniversaries, for the 25th anniversary, we got the announcement of Pokemon Legends Arceus and Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, both of which came out during the 25th year anniversary for Pokemon. We had Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl coming out in November of 2021, and then in January of 2022, we had Legends Arceus. If we go back even further to 2016 for the 20th anniversary of Pokemon, we had the release of Generation 6, Pokemon Sun and Moon on the 3DS. That was a massive year for the Pokemon franchise, and going back even further for the 15th anniversary, which back then they didn't really celebrate it like they do now, but for the 15th year anniversary, we had Black and White Generation 5 released outside of Japan, everywhere else in the world. Going back even further to 2006, we had Pokemon Diamond and Pearl released in Japan for the 10-year anniversary of Pokemon. So typically they have lined up anniversary years with big game releases, but this time around that didn't happen. And obviously we know from the leaks and whatnot that this was supposed to be a big year for Pokemon. I've seen Central Leaks even mentioned that recently, how we were supposed to have Generation 10 this year in Pokemon Winds and Waves. We were supposed to get a brand new Pokemon anime this year. We were supposed to get a brand new Pokemon movie, but everything got pushed back because games take time to make, and the Pokemon company has decided that, hey, we needed to let our games cook more, and therefore we got nothing this year. But that's not really where my problem lies with that. My problem with this year for Pokemon is not only do you have no product releasing, which is one thing, right? It's one thing that they're skipping this year. It's a gap year. Things get delayed. I understand that. That's one thing. But the other thing is that there's really nothing to talk about within the Pokemon community right now. Like, you guys aren't highlighting this franchise at all whatsoever. And it's the 30-year anniversary for it. Like, going into this year, I think everyone was expecting it to be a massive year for the franchise because everyone was expecting Generation 10 to release at some point during this calendar year in 2026, most likely in November, since that's typically when we get our Pokemon games. And obviously, we got the announcement for Generation 10 Winds and Waves on Pokemon Day, but we got this surprise announcement that, hey, it's not coming till 2027. Now, that was a disappointment inherently, yes, but the thing is that really bugs me is if you want to create this grandiose celebration for your 30-year-old franchise this year, you want to celebrate this thing, then you should at least talk about it a little bit. Like, look, I've said in many videos how I do not like the marketing for Pokemon. I think Pokemon's marketing is an absolute mess, but this is the case of just, I don't understand why, number one, we announced this game this year for Winds and Waves, right? If it's not coming until 2027, why are we announcing it on Pokemon Day in 2026? Unless if you have this marketing cycle that's going to lead up to Pokemon Day 2027, when you're going to have a full-blown showcase for this game. And what I mean by this is, given that this is your 30th anniversary, like, would it hurt you to have the announcement on Pokemon Day? Then, like, I've said this in other videos, but every month or so, you give us a little breadcrumbing here and there on what's happening with this game, but they opted not to do that. So then we look at other facets of the franchise and what are they doing? Okay, the anime is releasing something. I mean, I'm not really one to pay much attention to the anime, but it is ongoing. That is something that is happening during the 30-year anniversary. I'm not really sure if they're doing any special anime arcs during the 30-year anniversary. From my understanding, I don't think so. You could have done a little, I don't know, like you did Pokemon Generations all those years back. I'm getting confused with the names, but there was one where they had the 4-episode story with Red where they first revealed Mega Charizard in 2013. That was really cool. Then for the 20th or 25th anniversary, I think it was the 20th actually, in 2016, they released a weekly video on YouTube going over highlighting one of the generations, and that was really cool. Like, you could have done something like that to help celebrate the anniversary this year, but you opted not to do that. So then we look to the TCG, because the TCG seems to be the only thing that's actually celebrating the 30-year anniversary of Pokemon this year with the new celebration set or whatever they're calling it that we're getting, where they're reprinting old cards cards with the little 30-year anniversary stamp on them. They did that for the 25th, and it was really cool, really fun. I try to collect the whole set, but I'm a few short at this point on that set. But the problem is with the TCG is you don't have a way for your consumers to actually get their hands on it. Like, I did an unboxing on here, and I'll leave a card up above to it if you haven't seen it. Unboxing, I believe it was 4 booster boxes, or booster bundles, I should say, for Ascended Heroes. Like, I haven't been able to buy any trading card game merch at all since that video came out. Like, the last set I purchased was the Ascended Heroes booster bundles and a Perfect Order ETB. That's all I've been able to find in stores. I haven't seen anything for Chaos Rising. I haven't seen anything for any of the other sets online for pre-orders. PokemonCenter.com just straight up doesn't work anymore, because that's where I was getting my TCG fix, if you will, since the whole scalping situation happened with the TCG. I would get a Pokemon Center ETB for every set, but now the Pokemon Center site just doesn't work anymore. Like, I get kicked out of it every single time there's a queue up, and it's just on a loop, just saying, oh, you're entering the line. Oh, you have to verify yourself. Oh, you're re-entering the line. Oh, you have to verify yourself. And it's like, okay, I'm not going to sit here for like 2-3 hours to try to buy trading cards. Like, I'm sorry, but it's just not fun at that point anymore. So it's like, you have this awesome set coming out in celebrations or whatever they're calling it for the 30-year anniversary, but then there's no way for the consumers to actually buy it. It'd be nice if they fixed the TCG situation for the 30th anniversary, but that hasn't happened yet. So in turn, what I'm trying to get at here is, if you look at every single facet of the brand right now, the TCG's having a mess of a situation on its hands because of the whole scalping situation and the Pokemon Company just not finding a way to combat that. In my opinion, it's gotten worse, not better, since the release of Mega Evolution. Then you have the whole situation with the games. The video games were supposed to have a giant release this year in Generation 10. That isn't happening now. It's coming in 2027, but then you're opting not to say anything about it instead of marketing it, trying to hype the game up during the 30-year anniversary for the franchise. The anime is producing anime episodes, but from my understanding, I haven't seen any special 30-year anniversary anime special or just a 30-year anniversary YouTube series like they've done in years past for other anniversaries. So it's kind of like this anniversary is just going completely under the radar, and there's really nothing to it. This is one of the most quietest moments in the Pokemon franchise in recent memory. Like, we've had a few. Obviously, 2015 was really just a dead on arrival year because there was no new game announced, although there was murmurings at that point in time, and there was discussion within the community because everyone was expecting Pokemon Z to come out. There was the whole Pokemon XYZ anime, which revealed the new Zygarde forms, and everyone thought it was leading up to a game coming that year, but then that never happened, and then we were shocked. I was, at least. I remember being in school, and we had a break when the Pokemon presentation was happening, and we were all watching it together, and we saw Pokemon Sun and Moon, and we were like, what? I thought, hey, is this a 6.5 Gen 6.5 thing? Are we getting a sequel to X and Y in Sun and Moon? I was being naive. It was my copium kicking in there, hoping we were getting a sequel to X and Y. That year in 2015 was pretty quiet. Then obviously 2024, it was radio silence for Pokemon, and we're having another 2024 and 2026, and I just don't think these years are great for the brand, because at least have something for people to grasp onto. And I know we have Pokemon Champions, but for me at least, the luster kind of wore off on that game, as I'm not really touching it anymore or playing it or have any interest in it. So really, there's nothing going on for Pokemon this year. There's not even a cool spin-off coming out to whet your appetite until Generation 10 comes out next year. It's really just a nothing burger of a year for Pokemon. 30-year anniversary of the franchise, which is rather disappointing. Anyways, let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think about all this. What do you guys think about the fact that the Pokemon Company is really not doing a whole lot for their 30-year anniversary? This was touted as being this giant year for the Pokemon Company, the first ever brand new generation on Nintendo's new platform, the Nintendo Switch. That's not happening. The TCG is still an absolute mess to get your hands on, so they're making a 30th anniversary set in it, but how are you going to buy it? The anime is not doing anything super special for the 30th year anniversary either, so did they forget this year's their big 30th anniversary? It would seem that way outside of the minor marketing they've done for the 30-year anniversary celebration that doesn't really exist. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to see more content like this from Trainer DC. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.